Okay, so thank you so much, Kirk. Um, and in relation to exactly what Kirk was just saying, we're going to talk today about how LifeWorks sees choice and love. It's going to come from a little bit different perspective because who we're talking about now are the people that work alongside of us. So our team members, how do they see choice and how do they see love? And as you can see from Kirk's title, we've taken his biggest gift, which is meditation master, and his ability to have massive insight in that. And we've literally recarved our whole administration around that. So instead of going, yeah, I don't see how that can fit in with LifeWorks, it just feels like it's actually a perfect match. And it's you know it's keeping Kirk in a place where he feels welcome and comfortable and happy and uh, where he can express his biggest gift, right? So we want to share a little bit about how our team uh, recognizes or embraces choice and how we allow for that within LifeWorks. So it's a little bit different. We believe in giftedness, and we believe in not only giftedness for the people that we support, but the people that work there. And we want people to share their gifts with the purpose of allowing them to be there longer because they're happy for a longer period of time. So their ability to stay goes up, their work performance goes way up, and our solidification or our ability to have like a real good network that's strong stays longer. So it's not so much transition, turnover, and all that kind of stuff. We have people stay for longer periods of time. The first person is Sally. She's actually our office manager. Um, she is super organized and beyond savvy with all the stuff that she has to do regarding HR and payroll and office managing. However, she was actually trained at RISD as an artist. She's an amazing artist, and she was an architect for quite a while. And um, so she doesn't get to do that when she's doing her office manager things. So what she started doing during the COVID nonsense was Zentangle lessons. So Zentangle is a type of art. The bottom picture on the left is actually a piece of Sally's art, and it's just a lot of different lines and stuff. It's simple, but it's not simple. It's very intricate. Sally's really good at it. And so she started it just with a couple people. Now, when she does Zentangle, many people show up, and she sometimes has done it on Zoom, and she does it for like 20 people. This is her favorite day of the month. It's usually about once a month, and she gets all giddy about it. So she absolutely loves it. It's very funny. Um, this is Shay, and she no longer works for us, but when she did work for us for about 3 years or so, um, while she was with us and a direct support professional for Tammy, she was also training to be a personal training coach to go into people's homes and that kind of stuff. Her dream was to have her own studio. And so she started doing things like a wellness club for LifeWorks, and it was hosted by her and Tammy. And at first it was just her and Tammy, and people weren't showing up. And then she started advertising it, and we've started putting it out to people all over. And eventually she started doing workouts and aerobics and wellness walks through Riverwalk Trail in San Diego, and lots of people would show up. Um, Shay has now left, and I just got a message from her about a month, maybe 2 months ago, that she's now running her own classes, and she's like on the verge of getting her own studio. So it's really cool because she was super stoked while she was doing this, made her very happy, and she stayed for longer than she probably would have had she not been able to do this. This is Usha, and Usha's been with us for about 6 years, and Usha is also very creative, and she's a self-proclaimed total nerd. So she thinks she might be on the spectrum. So she's very like, got these great ideas. She's very creative and she's very focused. And at the same time, very unfocused. So she's like an artist. She loves to read. She's a rabid book nerd. Like she constantly reads. And so during COVID, when she was separated and doing virtual work, she started doing book reading with Kristen. And so they started reading some pretty hard books, The Hobbit, J.K. Rowling books, all these different things. And so she was doing it just with Kristen, one of the people that she supports. Since that time, she's opened it up, and there's also, so she does it virtually, and this is once a week, every Tuesday. So she also looks forward to this, where she created this book club, but now she's taught Kristen how to run it. And so Kristen feels very important and has a contribution, and she's the book club coordinator, where Usha is her support, but Usha's like basically in the background. People come on, they pick a book and they read it, and then the plan is to then go see the movie if there's a movie associated with it, or rent the movie if it's no longer in the movie theaters. So it's a really cool thing that's happening that Usha absolutely loves and everybody else absolutely loves. Okay, so this is Joy, and some of you might know her. Some of you that are not from LifeWorks probably know her. She is, wow, so how do you explain Joy? She is a creative. She is brilliant. She is silly. She's hilarious. She's just really cool. Joy worked for us for about 12 years. She was a coordinator. And during that time, we always knew that she was just like massively brilliant around anything creative, anything art, anything color. Any time that we needed to zhuzh up the office, she's our girl. The whole time she talked about maybe like doing art as a profession. Like she just wanted to be a professional artist and do something around that. And so while we were talking about, well, maybe you could do, art with people with disabilities and blend your two, niches. And so eventually, her and her husband, Josh, in 2015, we did a plan for them. And we created what would then be called Revision. And if you guys haven't ever seen Revision, I would recommend that you go to revision.com. So from that, roughly 5 years later, I think, Joy opened up her first Revision within our office. And so we allowed her to rent a small part of our office, and she created like a studio for people with disabilities. And it was also open to the rest of the public. So a lot of people came in. She did classes for little kids when they were on vacation. She blended all walks of life within this studio. That studio was probably with us for about, I don't know, 2 years or so, something like that. And then she was able to open up her own studio. And eventually Joy left to go be the executive director of her organization called Revision. And now she's opened up a second workshop. So there's 2 locations now for Revision. Joy is killing it. This art studio is absolutely brilliant. It's amazing. Joy is as happy as she could possibly be. She's supporting the community, and the community is definitely supporting her. It's like a beautiful mix of how we kept Joy working for LifeWorks probably an additional 5 or 6 years, just because we heard her and we knew we didn't say like, oh yeah, you can't do that here. You've got to do LifeWorks stuff here. You can't do any of that art stuff that interrupts, like, doing an IPP or an ISP for somebody we support. That wasn't it. It completely blended, and then it transpired. Joy went and did her own thing, and we still partner with her. So it's a great relationship, and it feels like the way that it should be done. And I'm going to kick it over to, oh no, I'm not. I'm going to show you these. So these are different The one in the middle is a bunch of different people that Joyce supports at Revision. The thing on the right is actually a community mural that Revision was paid to do. And all the individuals at Revision are all paid for their work. So anything that sells, they get 100% of the proceeds. They have a gift shop there that is amazing. It's all filled with the art that people create. And so it's just really helped people become professional artists and not just a person that attends a special studio. It's not a special studio. It's for everybody. All people can go there. All right, Lamika.
I'm up. So this is Rafi. For some of you who was in my check-in, I really talked about how hiring people and thinking outside of the box is really what I have encompassed lately. And Rafi is totally a person that I would say fits this description. His sister, as well as LifeWorks, saw him at a restaurant, and his belief and love for cooking and just his love for people in general really captured our hearts. The team he's on is Team Joaquin, and he has been with Joaquin since he left the institution, and it's been, I believe, 14 years. And he encompasses cooking all the time. If you look at that plate right there, this is not a atypical day for him. Joaquin gets these meals sometimes 3 times a day. Rafi will just make it. And it's amazing to just see that connection. Joaquin loves food, his family loves food, and Rafi really has come in and such a great team member. And like I said, that connection for him with not having any experience necessarily with working with people with behavioral challenges, it really just shows that thinking outside of the box, you can make connections in other ways. So love Rafi to pieces. Here's some more food for Rafi. Such great meals. So this is Dwayne. He works for a team here. He actually left the day program where this particular gentleman was because he didn't believe in their morals and values. He didn't believe in restraints anymore. He didn't believe that you had to use physical means to just say, let me control you. And so when LifeWorks signed on this young man named Dan, Dwayne was gun over heels to say, I'm going there because I don't believe in the systems that was put in place before, and I think we can do it a different way. And so he wanted to really figure out what there's Daniel. He wanted to figure out what is the connection to make. How can I connect with him? I'm pretty sure if we take the time to learn how to communicate, how to foster a relationship, we can make that connection. So Dwayne is a football ref. He does football on Fridays as well as Saturdays. And guess who's his worker? Daniel is his worker. Dan gets paid to work. He does the field. He helps him out. He's there every single season. And what we have found is that relationship that Dwayne and Dan have, they get to go to sporting events together and different things. And Dan's behaviors have really decreased significantly because we've taken that time to figure out a way to foster and nurture the relationship. Erik. So Tim is on the left and Erik is on the right. So Tim is the life of the party. Let me just say that. Tim lights up any room that you go into. He is a dynamic individual. He has been working since as long as I've been at LifeWorks, which is almost 14 years, and has held down a job on the naval base. And let me tell you that every time I come in across with Tim, he's always talking about different adventures and things that he's done. And Erik is that person. Erik has come in to just say, hey, bud, let's do this. Let's go hike. Let's go do adventures. And so it's great to have a team member in there who really can help Tim continue to do what he wants in the community and make sure that it happens. What I love about Erik is that he does not look at Tim as if, you're the person we support. They actually look like the best of friends. And I can appreciate that because if you asked him, he would say, Erik is my friend. So we've talked about a lot of people we have that work for our agency and different things like that. So, how do we do this? We just created in 2024 a wellness room that we want to continue in fostering gifts in people. So our hiring process has changed a little bit where we've talked a lot about how do you utilize your gifts? What do you bring to the table? How can we keep instilling great qualities in what you do and fostering those relationships with the people that we support? So this is a beautiful room that we just had where we still want to do that. So this is not a room just for us as coordinators to go in. We invite everybody that we support, all of our employees to come in there and share their gifts. What do you want to do? This really encompasses the love that we want, the choice that we want people to have, but most of all, we don't want people to lose who they are as individuals when they walk in the door. So who is LifeWorks? Who's all in, as we call us? This is our team. And this is very recent. This is everybody who works at our agency. And all I can say is we exude love, we exude confidence, we exude freedom, and we exude choice. That's all in.
That's LifeWorks.